Welcome. This is episode 43. I am Timothy Wallace. Welcome to Xpression. Glad to be sitting here with the poet. I like to call him a poet, you know what I'm saying? This man that when I heard him, I was already electrified because I'm like, oh man, he speaks in a sense that it resonates with my soul. When I listen to your words, I can visualize stuff. So I ain't gonna keep going, but we'll get into more of that. But none other than Komplex. Everybody get Komplex a round of applause, everybody. There we go. Woo! It sounds nice on the edited side when we do that. So, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. Now that I'm here sitting with you, we was definitely we had a session back in August, July.
I believe August.
We was chopping them about you coming on and stuff like that. So
yeah, for sure.
Just glad we was able to get it, and I think we've been having a good time.
Definitely, I agree. It's always good vibes when I come through.
Yeah, man. We're gonna jump right into it though. What's the meaning behind Komplex?
So the meaning behind Komplex is it's funny like how I got the name. So, like me and my mom, was just, chilling. I was helping her, cook dinner. And then I don't know what I was talking about, but I just, used the word complex. And my mom was like, hey, that should be your rap name. That's a good idea. I said, oh, I guess so. You know what I'm saying? That works. Because before that, my rap name was Killer Cam. Right. Okay. So my name starts with a K. So, I just said Killer Cam, and it was catchy. Everybody was calling me that anyway. So I'm like, okay, cool. But after a while, it's like that name doesn't really fit me. You know what I'm saying? Like I told my grandma my rap name, Killer Cam. She's like, boy, you ain't no killer. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, grandma, it's just a name. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, yeah, I chose Komplex with a K. And it's actually a meaning behind that. It's a acronym. Stands for knowledge over money plus leaving everyone X'd out. And basically, the meaning behind that is, in my opinion, knowledge is power. You have the knowledge to, maintain money or to, just knowledge in general, you could be better off in the future. Just having money by itself is temporary, but if you don't have the knowledge to know what to do with it, what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, and the second part of that, leaving everyone next out, is basically just not being afraid to be yourself, being an individual, not following trends and not following, what other people do, just carving out your own lane and not worrying about the external forces in the world, just focusing on what you need to do to be the best version of yourself.
Hey, man, that's dope. Yeah, man, that's a dope concept to your name. Do you consider yourself a poet?
Definitely, for sure. I actually started writing poetry before I started rapping, to be honest. I started writing poetry around 10, 11, and then, as time went on, at 14, I just put it to a beat, and I've been rapping ever since.
Wow. What was that first time what can you, if you ever, you may not even be able to put it to words and articulate it, but what's the feeling you had when you first came into contact with music?
The very first feeling, in general?
Yeah, to where you feel like it resonated with you and this is something that I want to pursue. Can you describe that? It might be too broad of a explanation, or hard to articulate.
Okay, so for me, I've always been a music fan, a music lover. I was exposed to a lot of music. My parents are, on the older side, so I've been exposed to classics, James Brown, Temptations, Dramatics, stuff like that, and so I've always been around music for real. The hip hop, jazz, R&B, the whole scope, of music. So
that's dope, man. For me though, my grandma had a record player, so she would play jams on there from oldies, just oldies, Marvin Gaye, a lot of Motown stuff.
Right.
So that was probably my first resonations with music, to where you just hearing the crackling of the vinyl. You know what I'm saying? And and then even when you fast forward to now, the way music is consumed, it's so different, Cause I feel like a record player is more live. I feel like the record is alive. Like,
yeah, it's different.
you know what I
Definitely a
mean?
different
Like,
aesthetic to it.
Yeah,
You know?
like you listen to the digital frequency, but that vinyl, that was that monophonic, I think, or something like that. I forget the correct category for the version of frequency that is, but no, I was seeing if I can get some out of that, cause like, what's the inspiration behind like writing for you? Like, how do you come up with the wordplay that you have? Is it like you need to be motivated by the beat first, or you kind of just go in with lyrics first? Like, how you do your writing process?
So my writing process, it varies, but like I would say about like 90% of the time I have to hear the beat first. That gives me really like the direction I need to, see what type of vibe I want to roll with for the song. Like if it's a more upbeat, then what I'm saying, I'll rap fast, or I'll use like different flow switches, what I'm saying, for a faster beat. Or if it's like slower, what I'm saying, I can take my time with it and use lyrics that are more like impactful. That the beat is slow, so like it will give you no choice but to hear the lyrics. And you know what I'm saying? Like that's the difference between, really, in my opinion, club records and introspective and soulful records. The soulful records, you can actually hone in on what the person is saying and the feeling of it versus just getting turned. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. That kind of going on what I wanted to say. Cause listening to you, like I said, I visualize words. Like when you saying the words, I'm visualizing certain. Even when we was working on the Langston Views, like just without the lyrics you had for that.
Yeah.
So it leads me into like how is it not putting out that like typical gangster trap, even though you from Cleveland, you know what I'm saying, just like that stature that everybody feel like a rapper should have on them. Like, how is that for you navigating?
Like for me, I've always been a proponent of being yourself, and like I don't like to fabricate in my raps. You know what I'm saying? Like I just like to tell you like what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't grow up in the streets. Like I've been around it. I have some family members that indulge in it, but I was never immersed in it personally. You know what I'm saying? So like I can speak on a little bit of what I've seen, but not necessarily what I've experienced. I was always the good kid in school, got good grades, stayed out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not going to,
good.
Yeah, so I'm not going to rap about, what I'm saying, like hitting licks and, robbing people, you know what I'm saying, if I never even seen a gun before.
Fictitious,
yeah, right? Like, you know what I'm saying, like you got to be valid, you know what I'm saying, like you can't, I come from a place where like you can't rap about something if you didn't live it, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
So word to Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, but yeah.
What keeps you motivated to keep the material coming?
There's always something to talk about. Like there's been different, parts of my life where, I've had, a little bit of writer's block, but I quickly got past it because like I feel like there's always something to talk about, and not just with me, but just the world. There's so much going on in the world, and not just in America, literally the world, like different countries, like they go through, 10 times worse things than America, you know what I'm saying? So all of that could be talked about and expressed in music. So yeah, I feel like I'm always gonna have to motivate to write for sure.
Where do you get your inspiration for your album covers?
That's a good question, man. Like I'm just a creative, like,
cause they be abstract, like when you, I mean, not abstract, but it looks very imaginative, like I don't know if that's the right word to say, but like I don't know, just you can stare at it for a long time, you know what I mean? Is that something you're going for, like more of like an artistic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. Like, cause I feel like imagery is very important. You know what I'm saying? Like if the words isn't imagery enough, like I want to give you an actual image. So if I want to give people a feeling where if they look at my covers, they be like, oh man, this is interesting. I wonder what he's talking about. And then once they, follow the project and, hear what I'm talking about, then it all ties together. You know what I'm saying? It all comes full circle. So yeah, I definitely take time in picking my album covers.